All right. So tonight on the Real MoJo Show, we're talking about a chapter many people are living right now: a single income, a single parent, or rebuilding. Uh-oh. Or rebuilding. But here's the truth. Your current chapter is not punishment, it is preparation. Tonight, I'm going to share my story from selling jewelry to coordinating events, designing logos and websites to simply stay busy doing positive things, which unexpectedly led me to meeting my husband. Because when you stay busy about the Lord's business, you never know what God is doing in the background. Tonight, we're going to talk about the ups and the downs of single income life, staying productive during the hard seasons, turning side hustles into opportunities, and how faith and consistency change your future. Why your current chapter may be the setup for your biggest blessing. If you've ever wondered, is this chapter of my life going anywhere? Well, this show is for you. We are going to get started. So let's just do exactly that. Well, that was supposed to play. We're going to get this to play. Today, we're not accepting any substitutes, any mishaps. Okay, well, we're going to come back to that. All right. Welcome, everybody. All right. So, here we go. That was totally my fault. I cannot even blame that on technology tonight because it was all me. So, welcome everyone to the Real MoJo Show. I am Missy Djomo, also known as the Real MoJo. Tonight, we're talking about something very real, okay? A lot of people are in the single income chapter. Some are even single parents, and some are just rebuilding life. Some are working hard but feel like they're stuck. But tonight, I want to remind you, this chapter still counts, okay? So as you come in, I want you all to type, I am winning. Type I'm winning in the chat. I don't care if you have a single income or two. We're all winning. We're all winning together. Let me put this across there. I want you to type I am winning. And I am going to put this on my banner because I want everyone who comes in this room tonight to know that they are winning. So let me put it in my banner. So as you come in, drop where are you watching from? Drop a note. Drop me a note. Tell me where you're watching from. That's what I want to know. Where is everyone watching from? Type in the chat. I am winning. And as you come in, go ahead and drop in the chat. Where are you? Hey, Sandra. Hey, Dennis, you are winning. I know Dennis is winning. He is winning, winning, winning. So I'm also going to drop the link in the chat on the tube. Thank you for that heartbeat. I'm going to drop the link in the chat on the tube so that if you want to come up and share some of your experience, I want you to do exactly that. We are not just going to hear from me. We are going to hear from you all tonight if you choose to come up and share. I am opening the mic. All right, let me copy this link real quick and drop it in the chat. All right. There we go. Because we are all winning. All right. So now I have dropped that in the chat. If you are on the tube, that is where you can find it. So let's get it going. All right. So let's talk about it. Being responsible for everything. Budget stress, carrying emotional weight, working, parenting, creating. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Whether you are in a single income home or not, this can feel, thank you, you love the outfit, thank you, thank you. This can feel like stress. This can feel like pressure. This can just make you feel like a different person, like you're not even yourself. But I'm here to tell you, this chapter teaches skills other chapters never will. Let me say that again. If you are walking through this chapter in your life, it is teaching you skills that no other chapter will. Hey, boo. Hey, how you doing, Diva Lynn? Hey, honey, so funny. So let me tell you, when you are walking through this season, you need to learn how to be resourceful. Resourcefulness going in that refrigerator and pulling out things that don't even make sense and putting it together to make a gourmet meal. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. What's going on? So today we are teaching about how to win in a single income or single parent household. And that's the last thing I said earlier is I want the chat to type in the chat, I am winning. Thank you for those icons. I am winning. I am winning. So as I was saying, being being resourceful is the first example. Being using your creativity. What special or unique ideas do you have? This is the time. That was loud. Discipline. You really need to exercise discipline in this season, in this chapter of your life. Resilience. Learn to bounce back because it's important. It's important to, especially as a single parent, as I was, it is important to be resilient so that you can teach your children how they can also be resilient. So let me ask you something. Are any of you in a single income home right now? Are any of you in a single income home right now? Type yes or no in the chat. Are any of you in a single income home right now? So Diva Lynn says yes. Sandra, are you saying yes? What is the hardest part of this season? If you are in a single income home, what is the hardest part of this season? Type it in the chat. Good day, good day. Welcome in, welcome in. Cruise, Lord, welcome in. What is the hardest part of this season? Also, what skill have you learned because of this season? Yes, tap, tap, tap. Thank you. Okay, the real big juicy says no, but she was, and I'm sure that you could come on if you want to come to the tube. You can also share your experience on my live. I would love that. I like this. I like to hear how different people navigated that chapter of their life. All right. So as I wait for you all to type it in the chat, I'm going to share my story. So I was also a single mom for most of my children's life. I had 3 kids, and when I became a single mom, my youngest was 7 months, and my oldest was 5.5, 6 years old. And then I had my middle child, and I just thought that I wasn't going to make it. There was many times that I just wanted to give up and not keep going because I felt like it was too hard. I felt bad that my children had to be brought up in a single parent household, that they weren't going to I was putting them at a disadvantage because I could not afford the things that other parents could afford for their children. So, in the initial stage of my single parenthood, I just thank you for the love. Thank you. In my single parenthood, I just could not see. I just felt like I was all the way at the bottom and I could not see up at all. But it was not until I really developed a relationship with God. Now, I know everyone who's listening to this channel from all these different platforms that I am streaming on may not believe in a God, but if you are walking through a season like this, you have to believe in something. It is important. I choose to believe in my Father God, because when I look back at that season in my life, I know that it was only by trusting and serving my God that I was able to come out of that season and be, productive today and raise my children. They went to even while I was single, they went to one of the best schools in my area, and I was able to bring them up playing different sports, anything they wanted to do, whether it was dance, whether it was basketball, soccer, volleyball. They did it all, even as I was a single parent who was not receiving um, any type of support from their dad. And so it was, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, it was easy or glamorous, because it absolutely was not. I can tell you it was not glamorous. But what it was a growing tool to help me for the future chapters of my life. Now, I could have sat around feeling sorry for my situation, but I didn't. I decided to be busy and do something productive. So some of the things I did was like selling jewelry, coordinating events, designing logos, creating simple websites, and just different little, you have to be creative. What can you do? What are you good at? What are your strengths? What are your wacky ideas? Because some of those wacky ideas can become um, something brilliant, some brilliant inventions. No, but was before. Okay, okay, okay. So, as I was saying, when I initially saw myself as a single parent, I felt defeated. But then I decided to turn that defeat into something positive. And it was at that moment when I decided that I'm not looking for a man, because I didn't have to have a man to complete me. I was complete all in myself. I wasn't looking for a man. I wasn't useless. I wasn't putting my kids at a disadvantage. When I decided to take charge, to take my life back and say, hey, I am a child of God. And the word of God says he came to give us this life more abundantly. No, no problem, honey. He didn't come to give this life for sadness and sorrow, but he also did tell us that we will have some sorrow in our life. We will have sad times. We will have tough times. But it's in those tough times, what did you do to grow? How did you use those tough times to create who you are today? Unless you're still walking through them, thank you for the hearts. Um, how do you how do you get motivated to grow? Well, like I was saying, as my children begin to get older, I made a choice. I said, I'm not going to look at my situation as a disability, because it wasn't a disability. It was an ability to show God that I'm not going to give up, that I am going to raise my children in an admiration of the Lord, that as for us in this home, we are going to serve the Lord by any means necessary. Oh, thank you. You love my colors. Thank you. We are going to serve the Lord by any means. And that's when God showed up and he showed out. Um, like I said, I had decided that a man wasn't going to complete me, so I was not looking for a male. I'm skipping over some years because there was some time that I felt like I did. And I'm going to talk about that in another series. But for right now, we're talking about winning. How do we win in a single parent or a single income household? And so, as I had just made the decision that I was going to focus on my children, I was going to raise my kids in admiration of the Lord. We were going to do X, Y, and Z and just cultivate our relationship so that we would be solid. That is when the Lord opened the door and brought my Prince Charming. So I, how we met was someone was looking for someone to help them with business cards and a website. Hey, here I am trying to find things to do to create another income, a side hustle in my home to by making logos, business cards, websites, and here goes the connection. And this is why I say you have to be about the Lord's business to know what he has for you. Because if you take too much time in the gutters, in the trenches, he, that's not where he's going to meet you. He's going to meet you the moment that you reach back up to him and say, Lord, I'm here to serve you. I'm at the foot of your throne and I need you and nothing else but you. You don't need another man. You don't need another person. You don't need anything else but the Lord. And he will bring you out of the trenches. He will bring you out. But you have to go, as you draw nigh to him, he will draw nigh to you. And you have to be serious and you have to be strong. So let me ask you, have y'all ever had a side hustle? I know a lot of you have a side hustle right now because you are on social media and you are here not just to enjoy pop shows like this, but you're here to also monetize. And so if you are here, if this is one of your side hustles, drop it in the comments, side hustle. Hi, Miss Lisa Page. Welcome in. Side hustle. Let me ask you this. Have you ever sold anything online? I know I'm seeing some people in the hustle. I see you, Diva Lynn. I know that some people are definitely selling right now on social media because I see you and I want to support you. Okay, let me ask you this. What skill do you have that could make money? I want you to dig deep and don't be modest. because we all are skillful people. You just have to tap into it. So, this is your time to grow, okay? As I was saying in my story, it was at the time that I stopped saying woe is me and stopped looking at my situation as a disability. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lisa. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Um, and that's when my husband came. And just a little side note, and something that is so funny. I remember at first when I met him, he was pursuing me, and I was like, I am in no way interested because I am raising my kids, trying to show them how to be self-sufficient, trusting in the Lord, and growing. And here he comes. And I was like, God, are you sure? Because I'm quite happy right now. Um, the real Juicy Bonnet Chronicle says it's hard to be a single parent household. I had help from my mother. And you know what, Juicy? That is amazing. That is such a blessing because we don't all have that opportunity. And unfortunately, I didn't because my mom herself was disabled and she was not able to help me. She didn't drive and she didn't even work for most of my life. So that is awesome that you had the help from your mom. And you really do, if your mom is around, definitely, love up on your mom and allow your mom to love up on you because that is what you need during that season of your life. During that chapter, you need that love in your life. You need the love, especially of a mom. There's no love like the love of a parent. So definitely open yourself up. Hi, Elijah, to receive that. So now, long story short, we ended up getting married. And that is when the shift happened. So that's why I say you have to start winning. You have to start seeing yourself winning before it actually manifests itself. Don't look at your situation. Welcome in, Cruise Wine Guy. Don't look at yourself as um, this season of your life as a negative. Turn it around. Turn it around. Hey, when you stay productive, you stay positive. When you position yourself for things, uh, when you position yourself for things, you'll receive things that you never thought would come, and that's why I'm here today to encourage you all. So the biggest, or I should say, your mindset has to be that, like I said, that you're winning from the beginning, so that you can walk into your winning season, your next chapter. And just by the way, I just want to say this: the chapter that you're in is not a punishment. I just want to say that over and over again because I don't want my words to seem anything like that. The season that you're in is a growing season, and it's necessary to prepare you. Welcome in, Nacho. Welcome in. So, but it's preparing you, it's redirecting you because I know I needed to be redirected. Um, in my initial stages, I was focused on the wrong thing. I was focused on finding love outside of my home. Like I said, I was focused on finding love within a man instead of receiving and giving that love to my children who were in the house who were hungry and starved for that because I was so busy. I was so busy. I was just so busy about trying to figure out how to put food on the table because I don't know about some of you, but I can tell you that my situation initially was so bad that I would have to go to McDonald's. Listen to this. I would have to go to McDonald's just to get paper towels for toilet paper at home. That's why I can't do nothing but encourage you if you are a single parent or if you have a single income, that this is just a temporary situation as long as you stay the course. I had to go to McDonald's. Thank you for that love. Thank you for that burning love. It was so bad at that time that I would order McDonald's, and back then was a different McDonald's. Today, McDonald's and back then McDonald's, I could feed my 3 kids on McDonald's for $10 back then. I went to McDonald's the other day and it costs a good 35, $45 to feed my children. And I'm like, when in the world did McDonald's get so expensive? And you're not even eat anyway, I'm not gonna even go there. Yeah, I'm gonna mind my business on that. But that's how what I thought was bad it was, because hi Tina, welcome in. Because I was only looking at it that way. But you know what? What I had to realize is that God put us through all kinds of situations to show us our survival. Only the strongest, that saying, only the strongest survives, is not just a saying. My brother has a battle. We'll be back. Okay, no problem, no problem. Only the strongest survive. That is not just a saying. And when I say you're strong, it doesn't mean you have it all together. It doesn't mean that you know it all. It doesn't mean any of that. What it means is that you're staying the course and you're not going to give up no matter how it looks. No matter what it looks like, you're going to stay the course and you're going to keep going. And that's what I mean by only the strongest survive. Because think about it. The moment that you give up, what if the next moment was your breakthrough? If you would have just stayed the course. Think about it. Sometimes we are a millisecond from our breakthrough, but we give up too fast. Yes. If we knew our breakthrough was around the corner, would we give up? So always start your day with expecting that your breakthrough is coming. I always say that we can only see down the street, but our God can see down the street and around the corner. He knows what's coming. He has ordained it to come. And all we have to do is stay the course. Redirect our stinking thinking. Redirect that stinking thinking that I'm this, I'm that, woe is me. And redirect those thoughts into something positive so that that will open up the doors to allow God to come in and bless you. I'm sitting here talking about something that I am confident of because I've seen it. I called it funny math. When I got out of that chapter and moved to the next, I said, I don't know what kind of funny math my God did for me, but it was redirect. That's right, redirecting that stinking thinking. That's exactly right. So, like I was saying, the chapter, if you're in it, it's time for preparation, it's time for redirection, and it's a time to build your character. Take time and focus on building character. Be genuine. Be genuine. I smile when I say be genuine because I am in on the course of being a part of this awesome group called Genuine Support Only. And so I think that that word means something even greater now to me. Genuine support only. Be genuine. Build your character so that your yes is your yes, your no is your no. People know that you mean what you say and you're not just speaking. Thank you for that. Andromika, thank you so much. So use this time to build your character. Um, when I say prepare, learn financial discipline because God is not going to put anything in your hands that He won't trust you with. So if you are a spender that will just throw your finances basically down the toilet on useless things that you don't need. Because let me tell you something, there was a season I have a lot of clothes now, but there was a season that I was not concerned about looking good, wearing, dressing to the nines. I didn't care about that. Even today, it's not about putting on makeup and getting glammed out. Now, I'll get glammed out. A girl can get clean, clean. I can put the packaging together very well, but it wasn't my focus. I was learning to be financial disciplined because I spent many years of useless spending that really didn't make sense. Sis, love you. You have a fantastic. Okay, thank you, Miss Lisa. Thank you. But it became a time that I had to become disciplined and ask myself twice, is this thing that I'm going to purchase, is this purchase worth it? Because let me tell you, when I was younger, before children, of course, I wanted the latest car. I wanted the biggest SUV with the limited, all the bells and whistles. Soon I realized that that wasn't more important than being financially disciplined. Um, and take time to just discover your talents. What are your talents? What can you do? What gift do you have to share with this world? Sometimes we don't dig deep enough. And another thing I want to say is make sure that you dig deep into your children's gifts. Start young. Start at a young age. Don't wait until they are adults. Start them at a young age, discovering their talents so that they can grow into them. All right. And also, like I said before, build confidence. So I have a question for you, chat. Can you type it in the chat? What is this chapter? If you're in this chapter of life where you have a single income, or maybe you have two incomes, but maybe it's not sustaining your family, or you're still looking for other sources, or, you know, it's hard times, hard meeting. I want you to type in the chat, what is this chapter teaching you? Because everything that we walk through is teaching us something. So what is this chapter teaching you? Drop it in the chat. What is this chapter teaching you? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Okay. How about you, TT? What is this chapter? If you are finding it hard to make ends meet, if you're a single home income or single parent, what is one thing that this season perseverance? Thank you, Nacho. Thank you. Yes. Never, never, never give up. Because act like each day that this is the day my breakthrough is coming. But if you don't see your breakthrough at the end of the day, don't give up, because maybe it's not that moment. And sometimes we have breakthroughs that we don't even notice, that we don't even see, because sometimes God doesn't just give it to us like this. Sometimes he gives us building blocks because he wants us to build into the person he wants us to become. I say that because if you're not good with your finances and the Lord gives you $1 million today, what are you going to do with them? What is the first thing you're going to do with your $1 million if you haven't taught yourself financial discipline? Right? Right? You can't rush the process. Trust it. I know people say these little sayings, trust the process. These things are real. Trust the process. Because just like I said, if God give you $1 million today and you've never had this kind of money, what is the first thing you're gonna do? Because I know people who have won the lottery and the first thing they did was went and bought all these acres of land with all this home and all these bells and whistles and all of this. And within 5 years, they had lost it all. So if God can't trust you with $100, why would he give you $1 million? You need to become financially um, um, Oh Lord, I lost my word. Get financially minded. I lost my word. Sorry. So here are some practical things I'm going to teach y'all before I get off of here. While you're in this chapter, I want you to learn at least one monetizable skill. A lot of you are watching me from different social media platforms, and a lot of you jumped in with both feet. I know I did. I made the mistake of jumping in with both feet, and I started spending money, but I didn't have a plan. And so then I found myself, I had spent a lot of money on a platform that I thought that I was on to make money. And so I started thinking one day, something is not adding up. This is not really making sense to me. So when you are deciding what hobby, what side hustle, which one monetizable skill that you want to do, whether it's doing live, being a live host, whether it's doing shoppables, whether it's being a brand ambassador, whatever that is, make sure that you study before you jump in with both feet. This is one time when the Lord is okay with you taking your time, one foot in at a time, one pinky toe first, then maybe a couple of toes, then a foot, then a leg. Take your time and research and understand how that thing can work for you. Because making money on social media is not going to be for everyone. Everyone won't be able to um, understand that there is more involved than just the thought about making money on social media. Take your time. I know a lot of social medias offer classes, live hosts teach you. There's so many ways that you can become informed, but you have to take your time and do your research, do your homework. During that process, I want you all to keep your faith strong. There's been times that I've been on social media that I've wanted to give up, that I wanted to say, you know what? I put these lives together. Nobody even come. It takes me time. It takes me effort. It takes time out of my day, and no one shows up. When I started off, I was only streaming on one platform. And now today, I'm streaming on several platforms because I took time to research. Okay, how can I do this? How can I make the most efficient uh, of my time, be most efficient with my time, not double work, not, triple my efforts by when I can just research, make sure I get all the knowledge. I actually paid someone to come and teach me as well. And sometimes you have to spend a little money to make a little money. That's just part of life. You have to spend a little money to make a little money. So keep your faith strong and then avoid comparing your chapter to others. Avoid, when I started seeing there were other people on social media, they were moving up the ranks, moving up the leagues, and I was being left, I was feeling like I was being left behind. But in actuality, I was making a very smart decision. I wasn't growing faster than what I could sustain. When everyone else was growing up the leagues, paying and spending a lot of money to have a title, I was crawling like a snail. And at the time, I was thinking nobody wanted to be a part of what I was doing, when that was not true. People were watching. People would start asking questions. I started connecting with people. We started sharing thoughts and resources, and people were like, I like what you do, but maybe if you would tweak it like this, maybe you would do more of what comes natural to you instead of forcing or faking, which is what I was doing initially. But it's a time like this when I can come from a real place in my life and share real life experiences and say, hey, this is how I made it through. This is how I navigated it. Now, of course, my path, my chapter is not going to be the same as everyone else's. We all have our own chapters. We all have our own, um, path that we have to take. But I am here strongly saying, don't compare your chapter to anyone else's. Today, you may feel like you're on the bottom, but it only takes a second for your situation to change. I'm going to give you an example. It's like 2 feet walking. One moment, your right foot is in front. The next moment, your left foot is in front. Then your right, then your left. But guess what? It takes them both to work together in order for you to move forward. That's the way we move forward, one foot in front of the other. So I just want y'all to think of it like that. Avoid comparing your chapters to anyone else. Build small streams of income first. Don't think you're going to just start making $4,000 in a month. Start off with small goals. Maybe start off and say, oh, I want to make an extra $20 a week. And once you start achieving that $20 a week, say, okay, I want to make an extra $50 a week. Then an extra $100 a week. Welcome in, Caleb Designs. And just start off making your goals small and realistic. Don't come in with the unrealistic goal because you'll get frustrated and you'll give up. And remember, I'm saying never, never give up. And the way that you can help that is by, hi, how are you doing? Is by making small, realistic goals. Stay around a positive community. Now, this is really important. Don't have any negative talkers, negative speakers, negative planners in your community. If they come around, get them out because they are too costly. A counterfeit, exactly. A counterfeit. Don't have those counterfeits in your life. I'm sorry. Hi, Abiba K. Welcome in. I'm sorry I didn't see your message. Yes, don't have those counterfeits in your life. Because they're going to be there to make you stumble. They're good. That's the quickest way to find yourself in stinking thinking by listening to negative people around you. So keep your community positive. So I hope that just some of these things I've shared with you today is resonating or making you think, maybe, helping you to see that if you are in this season of life where you are in a single income home, or if you're not, like I said, if you're not in a single income home, but struggling to make ends meet, remember, this is just a chapter. This is just one chapter of your life. And if you learn a skill, keep your faith, avoid comparing, build small, realistic streams of income, and stay around a positive community, that is your first steps. It will help you build. Just remember, your chapter is not a whole book. And sometimes the chapter that looks the hardest, sometimes it's that moment that you think it can't possibly get any harder, becomes the chapter that changes everything. That could be the chapter that creates the masterpiece. It's like ceramics that goes through this process, or a diamond. Let's say a diamond that goes through the process from cold to becoming that beautiful, shiny diamond. It's that hardest process that turns that coal, that rock, into something that we all want to wear on our fingers, our necks, our ears, everybody. And look at yourself the same way. as you are refined going through the process. When you walk into a room, you will be noticed. So take this chapter to refine yourself. And even if it may seem hard, stay positive, stay encouraged, and never, never give up. I want you to type in the chat and all of these platforms that I'm streaming on today. Type in the chat that my chapter matters. My chapter matters. Type it in the chat. My chapter matters. Okay? I see you. My chapter matters, BBK. Yes, my chapter matters. I just want y'all to know that I will be coming live and sharing more details. I don't want these lives to go too long, so I'm going to break it up in miniature pieces. How we can change our current situation, how we can start purposing ourselves to move into our next chapter. So come back Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for the next series of this episode. We will give you more ideas about how to monetize as a single parent home or a single income home. Or like I said, really the information I'm going to share is for any home. No problem, Nacho. No problem. Stay positive, stay encouraged, and never, never give up. So with that, I'm going to say, keep it real, keep it positive, keep encouraged until we meet again, and make sure to keep your mojo. All right. Till we meet again.